Am I the asshole for not letting my girlfriend, 20, have a movie night with our colleague, male, 40? Hi, I think I'm going insane over this, and I want to hear what Ita think about this. Me, male, 21, and my girlfriend, 20, have been together since I was 16, and she 15, and we have been inseparable since then, well, until now. We work at the same company, and have done so for about 2 years now. We even work in the same section. So lately, she have been getting closer to our colleague male, 40, and I have not seen a problem with this since he's 40. But recently, they have wanted to hang out after work separately from me and our other friends. Things they do is just go for a walk, run or hikes, which normally take around 40 minutes to an hour, which is normal, I guess. But now my girlfriend wants to have a movie night at his house, and they are going to watch the latest Fast and Furious movie. I asked to join, but they need to be alone because they are going to talk about Friends stuff. She said they were like best girlfriends. At first I thought, okay, that's fine, I guess, because again is 40. But now, after the fact, I'm starting to worry that they are getting a little too close. Am I going crazy, or is this something male and girlfriends do normally? I don't really have any experience in just that cause. I don't really have any girlfriends that I am that close with, except my girlfriend. So please, I need some advice or just outside views on this. Edit. Just from the first few comments, I would like to add some details. First, she's acting just like normal to me, loving, caring, and overall like the girl I fell in love with. Second, this may seem a little bit arrogant, but if I may self-glaze a little, I am 6'4", blonde, fit from going to the gym for 5 years, love cooking, traveling, and hanging with friends and family. He is 5 feet, 8 inches bald, not really fat, but on the more out-of-shape side, and is kind of a gamer, I guess, and I mean computer games. So he only has a handful of friends, and the same at work. I do not say this to bully him or belittle him in any way, it's just straight facts. Third, my girlfriend said that after meeting some of his friends at a local get-together here, she said it felt weird being so much younger than everyone at that specific table that she just kept it short when she said hi to them. Final. So if you put all this together, I can't see any reason to why I should have been suspicious earlier. Update. Thanks for all the comments and DMs. There is no way I can answer all of them, so I will try to make an update now, as I feel almost responsible to do it for the big response from the community. She actually went through with it. Earlier today, we sat down to discuss just how I felt about this whole thing, and that it is weird for her to go alone home to him, as he is effing 40. I was very clear about my opinion about being excluded from this whole thing, and that it is not all right for me to feel like I am third-wheeling my own relationship. Her answer. I did not take you for such an insecure man after 5 years, Tuggater. Honestly, this kinda broke me. How is it okay for her to just set my feelings aside with a comment like that? I must admit, I am absolutely not the best with expressing my feelings in this kind of way, and it feels very uncomfortable for me to open up like that to someone, even if we have been together for years. And I can kind of see why when that was her response. After that one little comment, it really sank in that she actually don't care about me anymore. The rest of the conversation went downhill from there on. I started to accuse her for cheating. She started throwing a effing fit about how dared I accuse her of things like that. After 5 years together, how didn't I trust her? After about 20 minutes of this, I was honestly broken down. So I just walked out, didn't say anything, just walked. I was out for about 30 minutes just to try and clear my head from this whole conversation. When I came back, she was waiting for me with just one question. Do you think I have cheated on you? I said, yes, I really do. And then I think I did something stupid. I showed her my first post to get my point across even more, that the things I'm feeling and thinking about is the all-around opinion in the comments. She was stunned and silent for a bit. and I think she actually kinda saw why I felt the way I did. Her response after that: "I must go. The 40-year-old is waiting to start the movie, and I think we should have a small break from each other." She fucking went to him after our fight. What did it do? I went to my father at his work and actually cried in his arms for the first time in probably 15 years. And now I'm at home in bed and have talked to my landlord, and she is very understanding, and she said that I can take my name from the lease anytime I want. What now? I'm in my bed feeling totally empty, numb, sick, furious. And to be honest, I went kind of the hook when I came back from my dad. I threw some shit on the floor, actually cut the networking cable in the wall, as she is maintaining a blog that she is very passionate about. I won't link it, so don't even ask, as I don't want to give that POS more activity on it. This update went probably just the way people expected it to do, so I hope people is happy. My relationship is probably 100% over to spare me in the future. But please, how can I come out on top on this? I have to see both on Monday when we get to work. I don't think I can handle this, so please advice is more than welcome. I might do another update later on if I can mentally go through this again. As per now, I literally can't handle it. I am mentally breaking down as I am writing this. Update. Holy shit. Eta, thank you for the overwhelming response on my little situation, if you can call it that. There's no way in hell that I will be able to answer even the minority of the comments and DMs, so I will do my best to update you guys, as I really do think I almost owe it to you after the incredible response. Well, where should I begin? When I look back on my personal response on this, it was really childish for me to start breaking stuff and cutting wires, like I was throwing a tantrum, which I probably was. I have set out to replace the stuff that was ours, and the stuff that was mine doesn't really matter, and the internet wire will be fixed tomorrow. This has shown a whole new side of me that I didn't know existed, but honestly, can you really blame me too hard for this? This has been hands down the worst weekend in my life, and I was actually surprised that I didn't really saw any comment calling me out on my bullshit behavior. Now on to the rest of this. I left of when I was laying in bed and typing out what happened on Friday. The rest of that Friday I did just that. I kept in bed for the rest of the night and could not sleep, as I was just thinking about all our memories and that we will never create new ones. As well as I was think way too much about what they probably was doing in another bed. The Saturday I did a big mistake. I started to drink. That led me to go to a party, and honestly, I should not have done that because I drunk called my now ex and asked one last time if it really was over for us. And indeed, she said yes. And this is why you should not drink after something like this. Because unlucky for me, one of her closer friends was at that party, and one thing led to another, and we ended up in bed together, and I did this only to make my ex mad. You can't imagine my regret on Sunday. I have never done anything like this before, and will never do again. And I said as much to the friend and apologized profusely for using her for this. And she said it was okay, and she understood, but you could see that it hurt her more than she said. And I feel like the biggest asshole in the world. And I can't even imagine how she feels. And I really deserve all the shit my way from you guys for this. After all that, I also felt as I cheated on my ex for doing this. I can't explain why I just did. Probably because I had sex with someone else the day after we broke up a 5-year relationship. The rest of the Sunday, I was dwelling in what I just did and absolutely despising that it is Monday tomorrow, and I'm actually feeling sick to just go to work. Monday, today, comes, and it started probably the worst way possible. My ex and our colleague comes to work in the same car, and when I tell you it felt like that burning coal in my stomach becomes a absolutely all-developing black hole. I can describe it better than that. But being a man, I guess I just tried to ignore it. I must have not been so convincing because she came right over to me and said that it's not what it looks like. He actually had just picked her up at our house. I have slept at my dad's house from Sunday to Monday. This did not make me feel any better what? whatsoever, because how can I believe that? But I did also apologize for my behavior from Friday, and that I had acted childish and immature. She said it's okay, and that it was understandable why I did what I did. Then after that, the rest of the day got even worse, if you can believe that somehow the word of our breakup had already spread like wildfire on work. And to my delight, apparently, it was almost like an open secret that my ex and our colleague had hooked up at least once before on a business party. And that was it for me today, I called it. And went to my boss, told him I was sick, and went home. A couple hours later, I'm just sitting here trying to eat. It's not going so good. And just thinking about how my colleagues at work could hold such a secret from me. And I can't even imagine continue working here anymore, so I'm also sitting and looking for new work as we speak. And as it stands right now, I have taken my name of the house lease and will start to pack my stuff tomorrow to move out and move into my father in the meantime, whilst I find a new place. As the last post, I do really appreciate some advice, and this time I will try to be more active when it comes to the comments in DMS. I am also tired of hearing, "You are young, you'll find someone new." My problem is, I don't really want anyone other. So what do people think about my current situation? The definition of a shit show? Edit. I have gotten a ton of messages that said I was unbelievably childish about all my decisions, and I know I was. Just calling me out being childish is one thing, but please leave some advice or something at least, so I can at least take it as some sort of helpful criticism. My F21 boyfriend, M24, opened our relationship. Now that I've finally found someone, he wants to close it. I come from a small town where everyone knows each other. I was raised in a very strict Catholic household. I had a pretty sheltered life growing up, no dating, no parties, none of that stuff. So when I moved to the city for college, it was a whole new world for me. I had total freedom. That's when I met my boyfriend. He's a little older, and honestly, the most amazing person I had ever met. He taught me so much about life and love, and made everything feel exciting. I was completely over the moon when we became a couple. We've been together for 3.5 years now. I had so many firsts with him. Naturally, I assumed we would get married. He was my one and only. Then about 8 months ago, he sat me down and told me he felt like our relationship was losing its spark. I was shocked, because I thought we were doing really good. For a second, I thought he was about to break up with me. But instead, he said we should open up the relationship and explore polyamory. He said it's more normal now, and that it could actually help bring us closer. I was hurt. Like, really hurt. I couldn't believe he'd even ask me that. But I loved him too much. He's my first love. I didn't want to lose him, so I said yes. He made some rules like no bringing other people into our beds. We live separately anyway, and to keep things away from places we'd usually go. But honestly, I didn't care about the rules. I couldn't even imagine being with someone else. I only wanted him. But that first month, things didn't get better. I saw him less and less. He was always busy. I checked his social media and saw he started hanging out with some girl. She posted him all the time. I was burning with jealousy, but I didn't say anything. When I did see him, he was sweet, like always. But it started to feel like he was just trying to make up for not being around. I felt like I was the one doing all the work planning stuff, texting first, chasing after him, holding on so tight while he felt far away. Then a few months ago, we were supposed to see a movie together, but he bailed on me last minute. I went anyway. While I was there, I ran into one of my friends, and she was with her older brother. We ended up watching the film together, Nosferatu, if you're wondering. Afterward, we grabbed some drinks, and I started noticing how attractive and funny he was. I caught him looking at me a certain way, too, like maybe he felt something, too. I didn't pursue anything, though this was all so new to me. Liking someone else? That felt so weird. I wasn't used to anyone but my boyfriend. He eventually found me on Instagram, and we started talking. I told him about the open relationship and being poly, and he was super chill about it. He said he was happy to spend time with me without worrying about cheating. We started hanging out more, and honestly, I didn't feel so alone anymore. I didn't feel like I had to beg someone for love. Even the little time I spent with my boyfriend started to feel enough, because my heart didn't feel so empty anymore. One day, after we'd become close friends, he just kissed me on the lips. And it hit me I had feelings for him, sexual ones. We ended up hooking up not long after. It was amazing. I felt wanted, cherished. He was so gentle, so generous. I couldn't get enough of him. It felt like he balanced me out in a way I didn't know I needed. I finally understood what being poly could really mean, loving more than one person, in a way that felt real and full. I grew very attracted. We even joined the gym together and started working out. He's a busy guy, but always made time for me, always invited me into his world and his hobbies. I felt special and giddy. Then this week, my boyfriend comes to me and says, "I think we should close the relationship and focus on each other." I was confused. I asked him, why? Things are going really good for us. He said it's time to think about the future and building something serious. Then he brought up religion. "You're Catholic. You should understand. If you want this to last, it has to just be the two of us." When I hesitated, he started guilt-tripping me, like I was doing something wrong, like I wasn't thinking about us. I love him. I really do. But now, I feel confused. I feel upset. I didn't ask for any of this. He opened the door, and I just followed because I loved him. And now that I found a little peace, a little joy, he wants to shut it all down. It feels unfair. Just wanted this off my chest. Update. TLDR from previous post. My boyfriend opened up relationship to become closer with me and revive our spark. Out of fear of losing him, I agreed. It didn't get better. He started hooking up with a girl straight away, and I waited for him drowning in jealously and begging for his time. Eventually, I finally start seeing someone else like he did. I'm in a happier place. Now my BF wants to close our relationship so we can focus on our future. You can read the full post on my page. The update. Thank you to everyone who offered advice, clarity, and support. I wanted to share where things stand now after having some difficult conversations. I spoke to my boyfriend and told him I don't want to close the open relationship. I've grown to really enjoy dating the other guy, and it's not something I agreed to just to experiment. I told him it should be a joint decision. You can't just open and close a relationship as you please, especially when someone else's feelings are involved. I also told him I was incredibly disappointed. He brought up my faith, knowing how much trauma and guilt I've carried from my religious upbringing, and how felt manipulative and unfair. He didn't respond to my comments about religion, but instead said, "If you want a future with me, this needs to end, or we're done." I told him, "Then it's done." He got heated and said I was throwing away nearly 4 years of our relationship for a guy I've only been seeing for a few months, and tried to make me feel guilty. But I reminded him that he was the one who lost the spark, who wanted to sleep with other women, and who opened the relationship in the first place, not me. I just agreed because I loved him and hoped he would realize I'm the only one for him. I didn't ask for this. After some time, he calmed down. We had a long, emotional conversation. He cried. He apologized. He told me he should have ended things instead of trying to fix our relationship with polyamory. He admitted he still loves me, and that seeing me happy with someone else made him feel jealous, even though he knew he had no right to be. He said he probably deserves the pain, and he respects my decision to end it. We hugged and agreed that even though our relationship is over, The first 2 years were beautiful. We'll always have a place in each other's hearts, even though relationship has run its course. Later, I met up with other guy I've been seeing. I told him everything. I ended things with my boyfriend because I didn't want to let him go. I told him I'm not rushing into anything, that I don't expect him to give me all his time or energy right away, but I'd love to date and see where things go. That's when he opened up and told me that watching me stay with my boyfriend while we were seeing each other was hard. He said it hurt him, but he kept quiet because he liked me so much, and he knew what he was getting into. He never intended to be in a polyamorous relationship, but only agreed to it because he really wanted to be with me and didn't want to lose the chance. He secretly hoped we'd break up because, in his words, "You deserve someone who only wants you and completely." He said he likes me a lot, sees a future with me, and wants also to just date each other for now. We're not rushing into exclusivity, but we've both agreed not to see other people and see how this naturally unfolds.